Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, my dear viewers, and our young boys and girls as my favorite viewers. Your host Salahuddin Choudhry in the YouTube channel Penta-S in the segment Sal Soul. Today is the sixth session of the series. And also today, a very important day recognized by the United Nations for the whole world. And the day is called World Humanitarian Day. That is 19th August, World Humanitarian Day. But in this regard, I have done my own usual narrative. As you must have seen by now, I have special affinity and love and passion for those international subjects which concern humanism, which concerns universe, and of course diversity of the humanity in the whole world. Now, the narrative that I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen, is entitled Humanity Matters Most for All. Humanity matters most for all. Well, as I start, I have a quotation for you, and is by a very famous socialist writer, philosopher, Sergei Lavrov. And Sergei Lavrov said in his remarks regarding the Humanitarian Day, he said, humanitarian issues must bring together all people who act in good faith, trying to alleviate the suffering of people in dire need, especially women, children, and the elderly, by Sergei Lavrov. You see, in this connection, as I begin my narrative, I say with emphasis, humanitarianism is an active belief in the value of human life, whereby humans practice benevolent treatment and provide assistance to other humans in order to better humanity for moral, altruistic, and logical reasons. It is the philosophical belief in movement toward improvement of the human race in a variety of areas, used to describe a wide number of activities relating specially to human welfare. A practitioner is known as a humanitarian. Humanitarianism is based on a view that all human beings deserve respect and dignity and should be treated as such. Therefore, humanitarians work towards advancing the well-being of humanity as a whole. It is the antithesis of the quotation, us versus them, us versus them, unquote. Mentality, this is it's an antithesis, us versus them mentality that characterizes tribalism and ethnic nationalism. Humanitarians abhor slavery. Humanitarians abhor slavery, violation of basic and human rights, and discrimination on the basis of features such as skin color, religion, ancestry, or place of birth. Humanitarianism drives people. Humanitarianism drives people to save lives, alleviate suffering, and promote human dignity in the middle of man-made or natural disasters. Mind you, man-made and natural disasters. Humanitarianism is embraced by movements and people across the political spectrum. World Humanitarian Day is held every year, as I said earlier, 19th of August, to pay tribute to aid workers who risk their lives in humanitarianism service, including dedicated women, and to rally support for people affected by crisis around the world. The mainstay of the principle of humanity is in the essence of social morality, which can be found in almost identical form in almost all religions like Brahmanism, Buddhism, Christianity, Confucianism, Islam, Judaism, and Taoism. It is also golden rule. It is also the golden rule of the positivists, who do not commit themselves to any religion but only to the depth of experience. That's interesting, isn't it? Not just reason alone. So, the positivists who do not commit themselves to any religion but only to the depth of experience, not just reason alone. Surely, it is not at all necessary to resort to effective or transcendental concepts to recognize the advantage for men to work together to improve their lot. World Humanitarian Day was designated by the UN General Assembly as part of Swedish-sponsored General Assembly resolution on the strengthening of the coordination of emergency assistance of the United Nations, and set as 19th August. It marks the day on which the then special representative of the Secretary General to Iraq, Sergio Vera Dumelo, and 21 of his colleagues, unfortunately, got killed in the bombing of the UN headquarters in Baghdad. The bombing was so tragic an event that robbed the humanitarian community of an outstanding humanitarian leader in Sergio Dumelo, who I had the good fortune to work with briefly when I was posted as Subsector Chief in the UN Peacekeeping Protection Force, UNPROFOR, in former Yugoslavia, early 90s, during the bloody civil war. I personally knew how intellectually rich Dumelo was in possessing unique virtues in thinking, philosophy, dynamism, and the courage that inspired so many of us and will remain a legacy for future generations to emulate. Here, it is most appropriate to recall many of Pakistan's military, civilians, and police, especially women, working with the UN peacekeeping missions, who lost their lives in harness, in hard work, while maintaining law and order and peace on humanitarian cause and safety of humanity. Today, Humanitarianism is particularly used to describe the thinking and doctrines behind the emergency response to humanitarian crisis. In such cases, it argues for a humanitarian response based on humanitarian principles, particularly the principle of humanity. Isn't it philosophical, interesting? Not difficult to understand, but has the depth. The most important principles of humanitarian action are humanity, neutrality, independence, and impartiality, which posits the conviction that all people have equal dignity by virtue of their being human, based solely on need without discrimination among recipients. Fundamental principles serve two essential purposes. They embody humanitarian action's single-minded purpose of alleviating suffering unconditionally and without any ulterior motive. The role of social media in digital humanitarian efforts is a considerable one. This is important, mind you, ladies and gentlemen. The digital humanitarian efforts. Within this, big data has featured strongly in efforts to improve its work and produces a limited understanding of how a crisis is unfolding. Excuse me. It has been argued that big data, this is modern times, big data, quote unquote, constitutes a social relation wherein digital humanitarians claim that both the formal humanitarian sector and victims of crisis need the services and labor that can be provided by digital humanitarianism or digital humanitarians. While emphasizing with you, my good viewers and younger people in particular, the doubtless importance of humanitarianism in our life, and dread to ask you and us all, whither bound Pakistan today? Where is it going, Pakistan? Whither bound Pakistan today? In the terrible context of unprecedented increase in violence and abuses of human rights against our young women folk. It's very sad. It's unbelievable. Can't bear it. The corroding mentality and the culture of fierceness among many of the youngsters are most regretfully becoming an extremely worrisome feature of our society, such as has been in the most inhuman incident last Saturday at Lahore Iqbal Park on our Azadi Day. It was a horrible example of savagery, when a celebrating young girl was harassed and lynched for hours by hundreds, onlooked by many hundreds plus more in quiet silence, no response, no reaction. Incredible. Shameful, I'm sorry to describe as such, shameful is their shamelessness. I have no alternative, but it comes from my heart, from within my heart. My dear viewers, my young viewers, I once again say to you that let us pause, ponder, vow, and bravely say no to violence, lust, and venom. Let us pause, ponder, vow, and bravely say no to violence, lust, and venom. Most of all, let's say no to male power as such. Metaphorically speaking though, no to male power and male chauvinism being used against women and girls. That is important. Let us respect humans, be friends with each other, show passion and love. Let us be civilized. Let us respect humans, be friends with each other, show passion and love, and let's be civilized. Let all peoples adopt policy. Let all peoples adopt policy of friendship to all and malice to none. Friendship to all and malice or hatred or dislike to anyone, to none. Once again, to repeat, let all peoples adopt policy of friendship to all and malice to none. And this will happen when the youth takes the lead. Youth, the budding youth, youngsters, boys and girls, they are the future. They are the future citizens of any country, of our country, Pakistan. And we all depend on them. And let us depend on them. Let them be given the respect, honor, love and passion. And when necessary, guide them. And tell them what is the best in their lives to be able to shine and do well. So, this will happen, all this will happen when the youth take the lead. That is, friendship to all and malice or displeasure or hatred to anyone. Your host is of the firm belief that empowering our young is one of the surest ways to make this planet a better and brighter place. Because youth is the ornament of life. Youth is the ornament of life and one of the universe's most priceless treasures. Youth, most priceless treasures. And the only way we can truly change our world is by inspiring and empathizing with the youth that live in that universe. Now let's say it again. The only way we can truly change our world is by inspiring and empathizing with the youth that live in this beautiful universe. But they have to be, this is a big but, they have to be in positivity of sensitivity. They have to be positive in all sensitivities. They have to be everything plus with regard to your emotions, your behavior, conduct, everything. So, the youth have to be in positivity of sensitivity. They have to lead in respecting and securing all. They have to lead in respecting and securing all exemplary. They have to be iconic, exemplary, especially the women and girls. So, my dear young people and also our adult viewers, is for everybody in fact. But particularly, I reiterate, emphasize, the youth. They have to be in positivity of sensitivity. They have to lead in respecting and securing all, particularly, especially the women and girls. That's the message, if you like. That's the thinking of mine from the bottom of my heart. What is what I have said just now. Let's think about, let's talk about, let's respect, let's be friends, let's love all women and girls and give them their due share in our society. Let's not fight them, let's not disrespect them, let's not carry on anything against them, particularly violence. Let's be good human beings. Let's be good. Let's be good to ourselves. Let's be good to everybody else. Thank you, my good viewers. Thank you, young people. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum.